So the Giblet and Shallot starter decks are finally live on the client, and with Giblet being that aggressive green deck and us being so big on Nameku, well, of course we were going to do this first. It was a little bit unfortunate that there was a translation error because it did make the deck really strong. In my opinion, it could probably compete for a tier 1 spot, but unfortunately that isn't the case, so it does sort of affect the deck a fair bit because it just helped it deal with its hard matchups, and now its hard matchups are kind of not really winnable. But that's definitely not going to stop me from doing some games. So these games I did actually play on stream overnight. I have been streaming once a week, pretty much every week for the past sort of 3-4 weeks. And it's definitely been my little thing that I've been doing, and I've been really enjoying being back on the Twitch scene. But also I want to give a massive shout out to everyone that's been coming and supporting those streams. But if you are interested in catching some of the Twitch streams, the link is in the description to my Twitch page. And just before we get started, I want to give one more shout out. Appreciate everyone that's been hitting the like and subscribe button. Keep going. We are only 50 subs away from my goal of 500 subs by the end of 2025. And well, I think we're definitely going to get there at this rate. So again, big thank you. Let's get into these games. So before we get into the first game, I just wanted to show you the deck list that I finished the stream off with last night. Now, not all of these games I am running this list. This is what I've ended up on. And after that stream has finished and sort of chatting with some guys in Discord today, I do know that there are some changes that I want to make. So I will quickly show you those changes that I will make, and then we'll get into some games. So this is the deck that I have landed on, and you will see that there are a few changes. As I just scroll down, we've gone to 3 Twisted Mortalities. So obviously I've cut Warm Greeting because I was like trying to see if maybe there was a world where maybe I did use it in some senses, because I feel like in the Jiren matchup, it is actually okay to ramp their Jiren when they are at 5 energy because it's going to put them to 6. They're only ever charging to 6 and playing an SCR, so it is kind of relatively safe, and it is a form of removal. But I did actually realize that there is a much better way to deal with the 4-cost Jiren, which is a Goku Black into a Twisted Mortality. Now, it does take most of your turn, but unlike in Nameku, you actually get a 35k crit body to deal with, and 35k for Jiren is kind of an awkward number. It is the only time I actually like swinging 35k, and it is into Jiren, because he is 25k, so he's either giving you a super combo or 2 cards, which is really good for playing against Jiren. Now, a lot of lists I have seen are only running 3 Goku Black, but for the exact same reason why I run 4 3-cost Gohans, I want to run 4 Goku Blacks, because it is your only answer to big bodies. The other card I'm interested in trying out is this little bit of tech for the 3-cost Broly. Now, obviously, it is a 3-cost Self-Awakener, which is sort of what we want to do on 3 energy, and then we can use our leader ability to get back 2 energy, so on that turn 3 Awaken, we can actually play out a Broly, that being this Broly, of course. I was also running 4-hit because there was so many occasions, you'll probably see in some of these games, that hit come very good. Like, it was a very good card because it just removes so much combo power on the board, and it can be very critical. But after chatting, you will see what I tend to do a little bit is actually like combo a card to set up my leader ability, and it's not ideal. It's not an optimal play. So the more optimal play is setting it up with Baby, of course. So I'm going to go back to Baby. I think you will see in 1 or 2 of these games, I actually do run Baby, but I was never using it. And I think that like I actually probably need to do it in terms of being a bit more efficient about how I play. I am, of course, playing the 1-drop cantrip. I am not playing Zamsu because there were multiple games on stream where I was just bottom decking super combos, bottom decking SCR. And I probably haven't said it much for a while, but I am not big on searches in this game because there is no way to shuffle your deck. And there was one game where in 2 searches, I bottomed 3 of my super combos. So yeah, that was pretty fun. So for that reason, I just felt like just going back to cantrips was just the easy play. I do like this card, but I do think that like, I don't want to run more at this stage, because there are a lot of instances where you do have 1 floating energy at the end of your turn, so this can be sort of good. But I can also see a lot of cases where you just don't run it. This 4-drop Buu, I've heard a lot of people say it just feels bad for them because it's a neg-2 in hand, but it gains you a life. You will actually see, I will make sure that I put the game in where or maybe 2 games in, where I actually use Majin Buu, and every time I've used Majin Buu or resolved Majin Buu, it has actually been very critical to the game. To the point where I feel like I nearly want to go to 3 copies of this, but I just don't think the deck space is there. I'm comfortable with 2. You'll see that I am also not running the 4-cost Double Strike Turles. Now, I just feel in this deck you just don't need it, because you go so wide and you apply so much pressure, your opponent generally will take down to 3 energy, and I feel like the only case where you want to use Turles is if you can tee it up with the 7, like with the SCR, to go, like, take them from 4 to 2 and 2 to 0, and I don't think that this deck really needs to do that, and I just think that Turles is just a wasted spot, for me personally. Like, by all means, try Turles, but being Nameku, man, we got to be using this SCR as much as we can. So that, of course, is the list, the updated list. I'm sure it will change multiple times. At the moment, I think it is in a really good spot because the Kid Buu is not live yet, because the I think it's like 2 weeks time when the manga set is live on the client. So we get a few weeks to really try and grind, but after that, I think that matchup is just pretty much nearly an instant loss. And it is a bit unfortunate. So I do feel like there is cases maybe for that matchup where I think you kind of just got to put stuff in their energy if you need to. So the first game is, of course, against Diamond Vegeta, and this is obviously still pre-banned, so Pilaf is available to the Diamond Vegeta. And I think that's a really good hand. I think I kind of always look for 2 Self-Awakeners, whether it be 2 and 3 energy, 1 and 3 energy, 1 and 2 energy. That's what I always look for, is 2 Self-Awakens. As he does a charge, plays down the Marin. The crit Vegeta. So we charge a hit because I'm not too sure why I charged the hit. Oh, I have the energy marker, that's right. So, like, I would argue with this deck, the best thing to do if you have the marker is turn 1 Raditz. Your opponent generally will swing into you unless they're, like, Shallot. And then on turn 2, you can play this to take 2 life, and then you just, like, go right down. You can set up your leader skill. So you see here we are running the Turles at this point. Just apply some pressure to the crit Vegeta. He does keep it alive. So here, I think I actually, like... Oh no, so the crit had actually put me, like, in a position where I could do my leader skill. So he swings the crit. Obviously, taking no damage there. The Beerus. This is actually kind of good for us because, like, we're happy to have this back in our hand at the end of the day because it's combo power. Because we can just, like, go wide. So, like, if he's using a Beerus to get rid of 120k body, like, he would have been better suited to swing into it. By the way, this is, like, my favorite art of all the cards that come out. What? Let me know in the comments. What is your favorite art to come out of these starter decks? This play is just so nice because you draw 2 cards and you get 2 bodies. So he does, of course, minus. I don't know whether it's the play or not, but I find myself defending my board a lot just because of how wide we go. And it just becomes a bit too much pressure for my opponent, just purely swinging. So not always having, like, lots of combo power isn't a bad thing. So we KO. I actually can't remember what I did here because I wasn't playing a 30k body. I really probably should have charged Goku Black. But I think I still wanted to... I'm not even sure what I've done here. I think this was, like, the first game I played on the client, so I think I probably made some misplays here. Like, the misplay there was not popping energy. I think I just twisted mortality here. Yeah. It's like, there is, like, I was struggling on stream with the sequencing at times of when my energy was low to swing. There was, like, you could probably say I threw a few games on stream just for that pure fact. So, like, we know we're going to save this Broly because it swings twice, and he's not doing anything about it. Charge the battle card, because like, at this point you don't have to worry, but charging extra cards early in this deck can be a little bit hard. So, of course, we get our energy back. Swing with Broly. Not even sure what we do here. So we're definitely, like, swinging good numbers now. Takes. But of course he takes again. Go into a freezer, draw a card. It's like there was like a lot of cases where people were saying you run the Zamasu just because you need to find the freezer. Otherwise you run like the Gohan or whatever. So at that point we're just letting it all die. Because we know we've got like one swing. We can swing a bunch of times. So at this point I know everything is going. We're safe to take. Swing. We've got a massive hand, and we've also got this like one moment where I guess this card might actually come up. Can't remember if it does. Guess we'll find out. Yep. It's like the one thing I think is really cool in this deck is some games you finish on like 1 energy. So like my opponent just took there because the writing was on the wall. So we get a pretty comfortable win with against a pre-ban blue deck. So next game is against Majin Buu, as you guys can see. So I believe this is the game where I actually use a Buu, and it is like pretty critical at the time. So it was kind of like the charge play there, but I believe we get to do. Although looking at his hand, he's got freezes there, so yeah, so we rest down our stuff. Which we're okay to let go. And at this point I was trying Muri because I wanted more 1-drop self-awaken plays. And that was kind of... So he plays down another rest freezer. And then he was playing this, which I thought was really weird. But hey, it is what it is. So from here we know we can get Awaken. We play the... I always forget this. This is the Shallot, Giblet. So we get the Awaken. Ruin his combo power. Of course, like, I have to really combo hard if I want, like, this to sort of work for my opponent. I almost feel like... No, I did go the freezer. I probably should have went the baby... sorry, the... Oh no, the baby. That's not the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, so he gets Awakened. Swings, gets his Awaken. Of course, we're comboing out. So down the Barbity. It's not bad. Like, we've got 2 easy targets to discard, obviously being Warm Greeting and 1 SCR. Gets his restand. Combo out. And does he swing at the freezer? I can't remember. He just passes, which I thought was a bit odd. We were pretty like lucky that we top deck Twisted Mortality. And I wanted, so like I had to, like I was always going to let that be the case, but I had to like swing there, let him use the combo power. I don't think I was actually removing the combo power. So like, so you see like an instance right now where I do have that 1 floating energy. So this is where the extra card does come in to play. Opponent charging to 5. Wasn't going to let myself go down to 3 because that's normally Buu's indicator to like push you. So he gets his lockdowns. We have to take there. So we know, like, next turn it's going to be pretty rough. So we play a Broly. We know we're getting a KO here. And of course we know we'll be able to Twisted Mortality again. Which will deal with the Goku. We draw a Frieza, so we're seeing a few bricks at this point, so it was starting to look a little bit rough, but we effectively have like 3 super combos because of the instance, which like probably really hurts us because it'll take us down to like 1 energy. So I like swung here to like bait my hand, and he opted to Final Explosion, which I thought was interesting, instead of like push for the game. So I guess I like baited him in because my hand was actually like shit. It's like he didn't want to go down to 2 there because obviously SCR is a thing. I didn't want to try and push him just in case I didn't get there. So we obviously heal a life, and now he's got to take us back down to 2. So we get the draw, we swing. And here I was like contemplating maybe I shouldn't have actually swung with the Buu. Because like one thing that happened at my large regionals was that like I didn't like, I swung them and they took to 1 where I could have had some combo power. And when I saw this Janemba, I was like, oh, okay, so we're going to obviously get the 5 drop play. I had to use 2 10s there, which was really rough. And hitting this super combo off the 3 to 2 life was really critical. So here my opponent actually, like, he actually throws here. Because what he should have done is swing the Kid Buu, combo whatever he's going to do, and then KO it. So he would have got his leader restand, but here he doesn't get his leader restand. And then he only combos to 40, which I thought was a bit... I thought he might have pushed me a little bit more. Would have swung some awkward numbers. Swings to 60, and of course that super combo got us there. Wait, would that have... take off... Yeah. So that super combo literally got us there. That was like our only... We had a lot of outs, so we had any other like bit of combo. But yeah, so you see like Kid Buu there, like literally helped us stay alive and win that game. Alright, so this one is against a Shallot, and this guy was actually in God rank. So we knew we were throwing this back. So this is definitely like a really good test. I was going to do another Giblet one, but he literally swung at me turn 1, so I was like, okay, well, let's not put that in, because like that's not what you do. That's what we want you to do, and that's what you shouldn't do. So just a charge and pass, the old-fashioned charge and pass. And of course, at the moment, our hand is looking a bit rough. We have got 3 drop plays. So I think like the thing you have to try and mull hard for, and I guess is a case for the Zamasu, in this matchup, you need to mull hard for Giblet. There is a game, I don't know if it'll be in this, where I actually have to use 2 Giblets to get myself awakened. Because that is the easiest way, because you can see right now, we can't answer this 6-drop Goku straight away. But it actually works out well, because my opponent tried to put me to 4, and he didn't work, so he just left his UI there, which actually worked out well for us. And because we were at 5, I didn't need to use the Giblet, so we wanted to +2, not 1. So of course we go into the Frieza. I honestly think we might nearly go into another Frieza. Oh no, I go Raditz. Oh no, because I had no way to remove my energy for leader skill. So we do get to pump him a bit. Yeah, and at this point, there's nothing we can do about this first 6-drop, so we're just going to have to live with it. But his hand is definitely depleting very fast, because we just went super wide. I would argue if you're Shallot in this matchup, you try and play the Vegeta first, not the Goku, just to control the board. Because, like, I want you to swing at me, and you have to kind of swing to get your Goku's effect. So we're just going to combo off the Zamasu. Raditz gets swung into. There we go. That's not necessarily a bad thing in the end because like he removes combo power for himself. And of course I knew the Vegeta was coming, so we're always like just not protecting our board because two things are going to die. But it actually works out really well for us because then that's a 6-drop body we don't have to deal with. Of course we're Goku Black. Pop the 6-drop. And here I was like trying to be cheeky to see if I could like... I was kind of hoping that... I knew he was going to block, but I thought that maybe there's a world where he just like super combos out. So I was going to try and jam him really hard with the instant Kamehameha. And I think I actually fucked up here. I think I actually needed to, yeah. I didn't get to do leader skill because I was meant to use a instant Kamehameha there. And I just, as I do, on stream I make a lot of mistakes. So we obviously knew that the Gohan had to come down for him, and it was just a flip for him because he didn't have any way to know what his top card was. Is this another game where maybe we use the Buu? Shallot. I actually find myself charging to 5 very frequently. I think I do it this way, because that way, like, he goes up to 35 and ends up 50. So we made it 55 so he couldn't use a super combo. Go back to our leader skill. And we go Broly, okay. I suppose I'm not really worried about his hand at this point. I know there's not a lot he can do. As he does swing, so we're happy to let the hit die here. Here's the Chi-Chi. And like he swings here, swings at the Broly, and of course like we got 2 supers here. We know he can't do anything unless for some reason he has Para Brothers. Or he has Ultimate Sparking. In which case, last night I literally said to the chat, don't do this. And then the next turn, I did it and walked straight into Ultimate Sparking. At this point, I think, like, we just, like, yeah. Go down to 3. We know we've, like, he's got 2 cards left. We got 2 swings. Goes to 40. He takes. I don't know why he doesn't combo out there. Oh, no, sorry, because I still had another Broly swing. Yeah, never mind. I just realized. Don't mind me. So this one is a mirror match, and I had this one, I'd released this one, so obviously something in this happens that, like, was really cool for me. I'm still not 100% sure how to play the mirror yet, but I have a lot of games. So if you guys want to see, like, a direct, like, showcase about the mirror match, let me know in the comments, and maybe I do one of those. But I think it's about, like, putting your opponent in awkward positions and then giving them, making them have to have the double take a life Giblet. So we know here, and I wonder maybe if this is the game where I make the mistake. No, so yeah, so the one thing I found, you kind of need to make them awaken, because if you awaken them, they just get to do leader skill way easier. So you always try and need to make them awaken. And I would argue he did this very good, like he had the 1-drop play, so he can actually go in I think if he does, yeah, so he did the baby effect, so he was able to set his drop up. So he's able to go like into a Giblet as well. Is this Giblet? I always I keep getting these confused, eh? Yeah. No, you can go into a Shallot. But I think he actually made the mistake of not being able to leader skill properly. So like from here, he's at 4, and I've got a hit on board, and this is for the exact reason why I think hit is really good. there is, like, people are saying that there's cases it's only used for Halo Coup. You just seen right there. He just, like, he didn't want to pop all his energy, but he had all those 1-drops, and we just went, bye-bye. So we've, of course, got 4 energy, so we can go into our own Shallot. I think we can go, like, Shallot into Golden Frieza. Or I think maybe, I don't know if this is the game or not, but I think there was a game where I actually, like, ramped my opponent to 5. So that way his only out has to be Goku Black or energy removal. Yeah, so we went Cell here. So yeah, like, because he's, like, so there is, you can see here that he did have it, but there's cases when you put them to 5 on their own accord, they probably, there's a chance that they didn't intend on going to 5, so they have to have an instant, or they have to be able to somehow take their energy down. So if they don't have Goku Black, you can kind of put them in an awkward spot. While it probably isn't the best play, I feel like it is also something. The other thing, I guess, is that it means that they don't do anything else that turn. Like, they just play one body. And as long as you've got a Goku Black to respond, it's generally not too bad. But of course, we weren't going to be able to respond. So, at this point, I just realized that I couldn't respond. He's at 3, and we've just got this absolute crazy pushing pressure. And he scooped there because writing's on the wall. He's got 1 super combo. We've got, what was it? However many swings it was going to be, and then we had our SCR to follow up. So this was the last game. It was another mirror, so I'll do 4, and I'm pretty sure, I think, is this the one where maybe I used the Buu? I can't remember. But this is how, this was the last game that I played on stream last night. And I think I was pretty happy with how it ended, because I didn't want to end on a loss. Charge a Frieza. So we've got, like, the whole setup. And I actually think here I leave him at 6. I, like, leave him at 6 to make it awkward for him. Yep, need Gohans to kill my hit. I don't think this Gohan is bad. But I also don't know if it's really needed in the deck. I think, like, if you want to play like Gohan, you don't play like the Broly tech, so I think it's like a 50-50. So of course, we know that's going to die. I'm going to play a Frieza. I really love that I found this. So he, like, protects his board here, which I don't think is a great play. And we play a hit. Swing into the Gohan. And he does protect again, like, credit to him. So this is the moment that I'm talking about when you leave them at 6. So he literally, the only way he can get awakened and start doing anything to my board is by having this Giblet. It is unfortunate that he does have it, but if he doesn't have it, you get another turn to go even wider. As he does awaken finally. Get a couple of cantrips there that we can combo off. But the other thing that it does do is, like, next turn I can play Goku Black, and he won't be able to play Goku Black if he wants to remove my board, because he has to Twisted Mortality. It's like, that's okay, we know that's the case. We'll charge, we'll swing. We can also Twisted Mortality, so we Goku Black. We KO his things. But it does also mean that, like, next turn we can't play another Goku Black. So he does, of course, combo out of that. Or I don't... Oh, maybe I didn't do that. So swing here. He does combo out. So we were able to, like, deplete his hand pretty much. So we easily combo out there. Combo out again. He actually plays the Buu here, which I'm not so sure about. But hey, it is what it is. He wanted to try and go to 5 life. So next turn it's like, well, I can't play a Goku Black, so I'll play my own Buu. And then I'll just Twisted Mortality. Plays the freezer. Obviously draws a card. So I guess this is like a good chance to show you guys that maybe you don't need to use, like, you need to know when to use the Kid Buu. So we swung the crit, we baited his hand down a bit more. Play the Buu. Discard a card. We heal. We can swing into his board. No, actually, no. Sorry, I think I charge him here to 5. Because his hand is so small, the chances of him having Goku Black are pretty low. Especially when he's, like, comboing to save everything. So, like, we'll swing, we'll energize the Buu. We know we're in a really good spot here. So, yeah, like, looking at this here, he's got no way to take his energy down to 5. We can just protect our board. It's a draw. We know we're not dying. His hand is too small to have, like, if he has Turles and he's at 5 life. So, yeah, he does combo out at here. Now, this is also where I think in, like, the mirror or some situations where Cell is actually really good because it removes the combo power. You're not too fussed about charging them at this point because you're pretty much going for game here. So, to be able to just, like, get rid of their combo power and a 25k swing is, like, pretty good. So he takes down. We play the Broly, of course. So I think we might get another turn. And at this point, I was like, okay, so he's been like keeping. I do remember this now. He was like protecting his board so hard. Let's see if we can just bait cards out of his hand and not make him go to 2, so we can't, like, don't have to deal with SCR. We just swing here. So we just get the draw. We go Twisted Mortality. We go bang. And we pass. It does charge to 4, of course. And yeah, yeah, he definitely made a mistake there. So he should have, like, played out Buu. He would have gained another life. I suppose he would have lost his super combo. So yeah, the writing was on the wall there. I think he just protected his board way too much. So that will be the end of the video today. I hope you guys did enjoy this showcase. I do want to do a Shallot one, but I'm not too sure how I feel about Shallot at the moment. So we'll just see how we go with that one.